Hello, I am Dr. Farshad Amini Behbahani and this is short course of Iranian traditional medicine. In this section, I want to bring up a controversy in maintaining health in Iranian traditional medicine. This controversy is from different definition of health and disease between scholars of this school of medicine. In one side, we have Galen and his follower who define health as an opposite state to disease. So when you consider these two objects as two opposites, you can imagine one middle state between these two opposites. The limitation between disease and health is blurred in this definition. You can consider different kind of people in middle group. For example, in some books, pregnant women, children, elder people, and not balanced intrinsic temperament, those people with not balanced intrinsic temperament are categorized under the middle group. We have a quote from Hippocrates that say that for treatment you should use opposite, and for health you should use similars. Imagine a wall, an ancient wall, that for repairing this wall, for maintaining this wall, you replace the tiny little injuries by using the same materials with same color and trying to build these little injuries, to repair these little injuries with no obvious difference. But if this wall becomes wet for some reason, you have to first dry it. In this position, you use opposite. In previous position, you used similar. This is difference between managing health and disease in a viewpoint of Hippocrates as father of medicine. So let's back to our example about Galen and his followers. For maintaining disease group, Galen and his followers believe to what Hippocrates say about using opposites, but also for managing the middle group they use opposites. In this idea, you imagine a balanced person in every aspect of life, a wise, strong, very good person with health in every organ that can tolerate problems and has a long life, a long span of life with some specialty, and you try to correct all of people, all of this middle group toward this imaginary equal or balanced temperamental state person. So you're trying to correct, for example, warm and dry intrinsic temperament to reach a balanced person, or you try to correct temperament of young age to reach a balanced person. So when you reach to air as one of 6 essentials, besides correcting the natural change in the air to make a balanced air that is proper for a balanced temperamental person, you try to have more caution about middle group. For example, in summer, when the air is warm and dry, you use more cooling for young people and those with warm and dry intrinsic temperament. More radical followers of this group trying to correct any difference in temperament in person to a balanced imaginary person. They are trying to reach an utopia that all of the members of this society has equal and the same temperament. They turn men and women to a similar one group. Some believes that this imaginary society will collapse immediately because even in a body we have not two similar temperaments between organs. And if all of organs of a society become equal in their temperament, this society cannot remain healthy. It becomes a uniform society that cannot have any progress. On the other hand, bringing a young person with an intrinsic temperament to a balanced state, to imaginary balanced state, needs patience and time and costs a lot. You can turn an intrinsic, for example, warm and dry temperament to a balanced temperament, but you may cause damage. You need patience of the person and it takes time. We have another definition in Iranian traditional books. Those belong to Avicenna and his followers. Avicenna defined disease as a state in absence of health, or health as a state with absence of any signs and symptoms of disease. In this definition, we have only two groups: ill people, healthy people. We do not try to reach a balanced state. We just manage the change in environment. For example, in the air, we just have some advices to correct the change in the air, for example, and do not do anything with any intrinsic temperament, any temperament related to sex, any temperament related to age, or any temperament which is related to climate area. We just watch people who are in the edge of their territory of health. They are borderline. And if we see any signs and symptoms of disease, so we manage them by opposite. We let them in this idea to young people and children enjoy the warmness of summer, for example, but we are watching if there are any anger, if there are any fever, or if there are any palpitation, we manage it by opposite temperamental manage. For example, a glass of cold water, or spraying cold water, or eating some cold and wet fruits, or a cold bath, or cooling the air more than usual. You should remember that besides the danger of getting ill for these borderline people, we have another phrases, another rule that say that if a person with an intrinsic temperament become ill because of same quality of his or her intrinsic temperament, the illness will be light and can easily managed by a little opposite management. For example, if a person with warm and dry intrinsic temperament getting warm and dry distemperament, the management of this temperament is easy compared to one with cold and wet temperament who become warm and dry distemperament. The management of this second person is very difficult.